Hey everyone, welcome to this weekend Sidereal Astrology forecast for the weekend of July 10th to the 12th of 2020. All right, so this weekend we have the moon going into watery Pisces all 3 days here. So the theme likely around creating more peace into our life, more receptivity, and doing things that are important to us on a soul and spiritual level. Now with this, Mercury is going station direct after his few-week retrograde. So anything that we've been reconsidering for the past few weeks, rethinking about, maybe redoing, or having to put on the back burner, now slowly start to move forward as we get into Monday of next week. And also this weekend on Sunday, we do have the sun trining up to Neptune, adding to a bit of that water energy. But in this case, quite harmonious. Trines are usually a bit easier to work with. So Sunday in particular, maybe a good day for some of that relaxation, some of that intuitive guidance. And again, those things that are more spiritually fulfilling can be great. All right, so let's take a look at all this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here's the sky for this weekend. We're going to look at this for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday with the moon shifting into watery and receptive Pisces, and then well set on Saturday, Sunday, and then we will get even Monday a little bit more of that Pisces energy as well. So we are using the actual size of the constellations called true sidereal astrology. For example, Pisces is a very large constellation in the sky. And so with true sidereal, we are using the visible sky as the constellations are seen in the sky from Earth. So in this case, the signs are very different from mainstream astrology, which simplify all the signs into 30 degrees each. But in actuality, they are some larger, some smaller than 30 degrees. So if you are new to this channel, definitely check out that link down below because you will notice a lot of the signs are different between this system and mainstream astrology. All right, so let's take a look here at the moon shifting into receptive Pisces on Friday. So the early part could still have a little bit of this Aquarius energy, especially if you're further east. And so the early part still good for that visionary sign as it was the previous day on Thursday and even Wednesday. Getting in touch with some of that future visions, cultivating those things that we do want to helpfully disrupt either in our life to induce some change or with the collective or anything again that involves those future visions. But as the day unfolds, and especially for the bulk of this weekend, we do have this receptive Pisces energy. So the theme will likely shift into that of finding more peace in life. Now we can do this a number of ways. We can do this through rest, we can do it through sleep, we can do it through spirituality, meditation, or anything that leads to more of that spiritual connection. Of course, this also rules imagination and creativity, so that can be heightened this weekend as well. And fundamentally, doing things that are important to us on a soul and spiritual level is a great way of working with this weekend here. All right, so no major aspects going exact on Friday. We do have a slight sextile between Venus and Chiron. So nothing major with this one, but if there is any openings to do some healing, maybe with relationships or possibly with some of the enjoyments of life, like connecting to nature or having a good meal, or anything that anchors us into our resourcefulness, that could be quite healing and therapeutic on Friday. Again, nothing forcing us into that. It's just an opening. It is available, but it could make it a good day for all types of healing there with that sextile. Then as we do get into Sunday, again with the moon still in watery Pisces, we do have that Chiron then going station retrograde for about 6 months. So it will be good to, again, nothing major because Chiron's a comet, so it's a little bit more subtle and more of the undercurrents. But moving forward, if there is anything you want to go back and rethink regarding what you have been healing the past 6 months, if there's been any physical healing, spiritual healing, whatever it might be about, it is a good time to now go back and reflect on it and maybe redo some things or experiment with some new things involving healing. It can also mean that there's a bit of a break with some of this stuff as well. Usually during the retrogrades, it makes it less dominant, not as forward moving. So we do get a bit of a break from some of that. For those of you who have been on a very strong healing journey here this past 6 months, this could be particularly important. But going into Sunday, we do have Mercury going station direct in Gemini. So there is that shift where the previous 3 weeks, roughly, of anything we've been rethinking, reconsidering, reevaluating, going back and redoing, this energy starts to move direct, starts to move forward. And so do give it some time. I would give it until early next week for that forward moving momentum. But getting into Sunday, maybe there is something starting to shift with it. And I would say this weekend is good to reflect on this, to see what have we learned the past few weeks, or what are some things we can finalize that involve some of that redoing or reworking. And in this way, it makes it very constructive. So do give it a bit of a pause, though. Mercury stopped in the sky, so all matters of communication, learning, our minds, the routines do kind of slow down here for that station. But of course, now starting to go direct makes it great for implementing anything that was, again, either in the back burner or we've been reworking or experimenting with the past few weeks. And it's all in all just a great time for this stuff, with the sun still in Gemini, focusing on learning, doing things that involve sharing and exchanging with others, developing our communication or language skills, maybe doing some reading and writing, practical stuff. Very, very supported in the larger monthly sense. Now, once we do get into Sunday, the sun will trine up to Neptune, giving some harmony to the water energy. And so Sunday in particular, we could just notice a bit of an ease to be more receptive. This can be in our interpersonal lives as compassion, as understanding, as acceptance. In our own lives, it could be about, again, heightened intuition, great imagination, great creativity, and very supportive for, again, all things that involve spiritual activities or finding more peace in life. It could be an idealistic time, but that's good. We can put some energy towards some ideals or some dreams if we do see them. And again, fundamentally asking ourselves what's important on that deeper level, and then having a bit of wind in our sails to cultivate that. Now, I do want to say that this weekend we are entering the 3rd quarter phase of the lunar cycle, of this eclipse cycle. So it is good to, as we get into next week, to start to challenge ourselves with any shifts of perspectives we had from the previous week, right? So the last weekend we had that full moon partial lunar eclipse. And so now coming up to the 3rd quarter phase is about integration. How can we challenge ourselves to incorporate 2 very different energies? In this case, the larger cycle, like I said, is about Gemini. It is about practicality. It's our mind. It's, the things that we can, really be flexible with and learn and use that practical energy. But Pisces is very receptive, right? If Mercury is the practical, Pisces is the abstract, the spiritual. So that's the challenge. How can we incorporate both this weekend going into next week, where we can still do that practical stuff, use our minds, learn, but at the same time, get into some of that rest, peace, spiritual fulfillment that Pisces is all about. All right, so everyone, have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that like button if you haven't yet. If you're new to the channel, subscribe down below for more daily videos, and I'll see you all next time for the next daily forecast. Take care.